It's been a process, but it's been a process that's been so memorable and fun and collaborative. And man, going to work every day was a joy, even though I was talking about heartbreak. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Jason Robert Brown's musical The Last 5 Years has come to Broadway, and he welcomes back to the stage Nick Jonas and Adrienne Warren under the direction of Whitney White, and we're here on opening night.
It's surreal. I mean, looking around this room right now and seeing the company that I'm in is exceptional. You know, it's been such a ride putting this show up on Broadway for the first time, and to be a part of it is a dream come true.
You know what? It was a dream I never knew I even had. I'm so happy for Jason Robert Brown getting this show to Broadway. I don't think he ever imagined that for this show, but the fact that we've been able to create such a specific version of this show, I feel like I'm a part of a long legacy of women who have stepped in these shoes. So it's an honor and a responsibility, and I don't take it lightly.
But you've worked on so many special projects. What's made this one so special?
The history of it. You know, when something has a history, a 25-year-old history that you're a part of, you know, the history of this show has kind of been a part of my life. I think you cherish it in a different way. It means a lot to me, but you also know it means a lot to a lot of people, so you have to take care of it.
I mean, relieved is not the right word, because I didn't ever plan this. I didn't know when this started that it was going to end up in one of these buildings. I just wrote something that I really needed to say. I wrote something that mattered so much to me. And then for 23 years, it's just been sort of picking up passengers on the train as it goes into the world. And so this is a wild stop on the train. I look outside and there's my name for this show that I wrote a very long time ago, and I think that's pretty wild, because I didn't know the train went through here, And so I'm like, great, I'm going to pause at this station, and I'm going to have a snack, and I'm going to look around, and then we're going to get back on the train, and who knows what happens with this show. It has been a wonderful, gratifying, thrilling surprise the whole time.
It's one of my favorite scores, as it is so many others. What's it like singing Jason's music?
Singing Jason's music is a thrilling experience. It's intimidating for sure, and it's incredible to sit with him and pick his brain about this show and the specificity of the music and the words. And as I've studied it more and more over the last year, prepping for this, I've fallen more and more in love with both the score and also these words and what they mean, what they can mean when you look at it from a different angle, and when you start bringing the dramaturgy into it as well, it just really becomes a thrilling experience.
Whitney White had a vision, obviously, with casting. She had a vision for the show, and Jason really supported that vision, and we all came together, and he gave us permission to find our version of it, and he supported us every step of the way, even when I think it was hard. We didn't have workshops. We had 3 weeks of rehearsal, and then we were in tech, and it's been a process, but it's been a process that's been so memorable and fun and collaborative, and man, going to work every day was a joy, even though I was talking about heartbreak. Yeah.
When you found out, oh my gosh, I'm standing by for Adrienne Warren, I'm standing by for Nick Jonas, what went through your minds?
I felt very honored because of who she is, but also we grew up in the same area. We went to the same high school. Her mom was my principal at that high school, so it feels very full circle. And to also work on this show, yeah, it felt good.
Probably big shoes to fill was the first thought that I had, and then I had to go rewatch Camp Rock or something of that nature. Not really, but I called my mother, and had to get her support on this.
Okay, so how well did you know the show?
Yeah, so we grew up listening to the musical. I was a teenager when it first came out. Somehow made its way up to exotic Toronto, Canada. But I know every lyric, and it's really an amazing thing to step into a rehearsal process already knowing every word. So it really made a big impact on me.
Yeah. I know the music in my bones, but then to come to start choreographing it, and this time signature switches here, and to understand the intricacies of it has been a lot of fun.
I feel a real sense of pride in that I get to step out and make music with my brothers and tell stories, and have been doing that for 20 years with them. And I'm telling my stories. It's music that I've written with them or with other collaborators. But when I get to step onto the Broadway stage and tell someone else's story and take those words and find a way as an actor to embody this character and the journey that they're on, it's an equally incredible feeling and frightening at times. And so I wear it as a badge of honor. And when it comes to introducing new audiences to the Broadway stage, I think it's something I try to handle with real care and thoughtfulness. And when shows like this can be on the Broadway stage and jump off the stage, I think for a lot of people, it's the same kind of feeling I had when I first saw my first show and fell in love with the theater, and it changed my life. So I hope this can do that for someone else.
I want to tell you, sometimes you go to the stage door and so many people say this is their first Broadway show. And that feels so special because I remember my first Broadway show. I remember the first time I went to a stage door and it changed my life. So I know that there are a lot of people who are coming to this theater who are singing the show for the very first time. And that is so incredible. And it just feels like we're adding to the last 5 years family.